Spiritual formation. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Gary. Thank you for giving me a few moments of your time to go on this learning journey as we continue to explore what it means to be formed spiritually. The last pathway we're going to talk about, and it is the ninth of this pathway journey, is the enthusiast. These are the believers who love God with mystery and celebration. They recognize that we serve a supernatural God, and they live with a sense of risk. The mystery part of it. They want to wake up and say, what is God going to do today that He's never done before? They would probably be bored silly trying to adopt some of the practices of the traditionalists. Expectancy. They live also with a sense of expectancy. They expect things to happen. I love how Charles Spurgeon wrote about this when he said, we do not have half the confidence in God that we ought to have, not even the best of us. The Lord deserves our limitless belief, our unquestioning confidence, our undisturbed reliance. I like that. Prayer. Prayer is also a big part of the enthusiast's life because they want to connect with God, the supernatural God. They don't have that sense of self-dependence. They're always calling upon God to insert Himself into their life, into their affairs. Celebration is also a big part of what they do, and this is such a good reminder to us. It's interesting. In the Old Testament, there were three major feasts: the Feast of Passover, the Feast of Pentecost, and the Feast of Tabernacles. These were elaborate celebrations. The Feast of Tabernacles, for instance, was a 7-day affair where Israel was commanded to rejoice, and the enthusiasts remind us that there is a God to celebrate. That is exciting to be a believer. That if we spent 24 hours a day celebrating Him, it wouldn't be enough to really capture the truth of His glory. They tend to be more of the extroverts, though not necessarily. They tend to be more of the charismatic, but not necessarily if they're not charismatic theologically speaking. But they are precious believers who can remind us that God is worthy of being celebrated, and that God is a supernatural God. And they'll incorporate these elements into their daily worship. And may I add, we might need them to affect us from time to time to remind us to celebrate our Almighty God. Well, thank you for giving me a few moments of your time as we go on this learning journey. We now draw to a close the 9 spiritual pathways of how we might come to worship and be formed spiritually in all things the Almighty. So I would appreciate so much if you would just take a moment and share this information on your social platforms so that others can be made aware of this learning journey as we continue to explore what it means to be formed spiritually. Well, until we can meet again, we bid you Godspeed. Bye for now.